Are you an international student in the UK who's tired of getting ghosted after making a job application? This video is for you. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what action steps to take to ensure you hear back from 99% of job applications you make. I've summarized over 8 years of learnings into a few minutes, so please watch it till the end. This video will change your future forever. So let's dive into it. So I've helped hundreds of international students get jobs, and the majority are following these steps. They're tailoring their CVs, their cover letters, they're applying, also networking on LinkedIn. But the majority of you guys are not following step zero, which is actually taking a step back and deciding if the job is actually worth applying to. What I mean by that is basically there's four things I've broken it down into, right? And if you take three of these, the job is worth applying to. The first is this job in your sweet spot? And I cover this in depth in my 90 UK job blueprint. I've linked it here. And in a nutshell, you want to be applying for jobs which are the right role in the right industry in the right company type. And I mean, it is a bit complicated, but it all boils down to, have you worked in the role before? So if you're applying for marketing jobs, have you worked in marketing before? And then secondly, industry. So if you're applying for a fintech, have you worked in financial services before, right? It could also be that if you're applying for a financial services company, have you got a finance degree? And then lastly, in terms of company type, if you're applying for corporate, have you worked in a corporate? Or if you're applying for a startup, have you worked in a startup? And honestly, it doesn't have to be role or industry experience. It can also be interest as well, right? So it could be that, let's say Zach, I'll talk about him in a second in the video, and his sweet spot was health and fitness. Basically, he's been in the health and fitness industry for 10 years. He's got evidence. He's been an athlete, he's been a massive gym goer, he's been a sports person. And if you've got evidence of, experience or evidence of doing the work in an industry, let's say you're an athlete, so obviously great for health and fitness, or let's say you're a public speaker, so you're great for like sales roles where you speak to a lot of people. That is good enough for that role, specific role, to be in your sweet spot. So sweet spot doesn't have to be role or industry experience. It can also be evidence of an extracurricular or an interest outside of your job. So don't be disheartened if you haven't got role experience. You can also use your extracurricular experience to your advantage. So that's the first point, right? Is a job in your sweet spot, right? So make sure you tick two out of these three boxes that I covered here. Cool. And you can watch the 98 UK job blueprint in depth to understand what it is. Second thing is, was the job posted within the past 7 days? So I've got an example here of sales representative roles. Make sure you filter by past week here. And the reason is, I've posted job ads as a recruiter, and especially if you're applying for jobs in London, they get thousands of applications in the first few days. So there's no chance you're going to stand out if you're going to apply for a job that was posted 2 weeks ago. So especially for London, even for jobs outside of London, make sure you're hyper targeting jobs posted in the past 7 days. Third point, is the job in a small/medium-sized company? The majority of international students I've had from India, Malaysia, Pakistan, Russia, they got jobs in small companies. Large companies are getting thousands of applications in the first few hours. I wouldn't say impossible, but it's extremely hard to stand out. So it's not worth wasting your time targeting those companies. You can get those jobs as your second job or third job in the UK. Your first job ideally should be in a small and medium-sized company where you get their skills, you get the experience, and then you apply for those companies where you've got, enough on your CV. Cool. Fourth box here is, do you meet at least 80% of the requirements? So in this job here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 requirements. So your job is to make sure you meet at least 80% of the requirements, which means you take at least 5 of these boxes out of 7. And you're probably wondering, but Faroon, that means like 99% of jobs I apply to, they're not going to be relevant for me. Exactly. You shouldn't apply for 99% of jobs because they won't be relevant for you. You need to find the diamond within the dirt. Find those small subset of jobs where you meet most of the requirements, apply for them, and you'll see your response rate skyrocket. Cool. So now that you've taken a step back and now you've decided if the job is worth applying to, you tick 3 out of these 4 boxes, or ideally 4 of 4. Now you're going to move on to step 1, which is now doing the work to stand out in your application. Step 1 is tailoring your CV. So the first point here I've got is, add the title of your target job in the summary section of your CV. So in Zach's exact CV here, he's applying for sales roles in the health and fitness industry. Literally in the summary section, he says, I'm seeking sales roles in the health and fitness industry. And what this does is, within the first 3 to 4 seconds of the recruiter opening the CV, they see, oh wow, Zach, he's applying for sales roles in the health and fitness industry. Perfect. Really good fit. Then they want to interview you. But if you haven't got that wow factor in the first few seconds of the CV, they're still not convinced they want to interview you. So cool. That's the first point, which is adding the title of the target job in the summary section. So another example is, if you're applying for data analyst roles over here on your CV, you need to say, I'm actively seeking data analyst roles. You don't always necessarily need to add the industry, but very important you add the role. Cool. So the next one we've got is, tailor previous experience job titles according to the job title you're applying for. So if you're applying for data analyst roles, You need to have at least two or three out of the four or whatever experiences you've got as data analyst. And if you haven't got the titles as data analyst, but you've worked or done data analyst work in your previous experiences, you can call up your previous employers and ask them. Maybe it's your family friend business, so ask them, hey, I did data analyst work. Are you happy with me changing the title from general intern to data analyst intern? And in 99% of instances, they're going to be happy with that. So change your title. If they're not happy with that, then you can keep the title as intern, but in brackets put majorly completed data analyst work. Or you can add data analyst, data analyst, data analyst, the keyword all throughout the bullet points. That's how you show you've done a lot of data analyst work. Once you've done that, you also want to get the top 5 keywords from the job description. Using ChatGPT, you can follow this guide over here. It's pretty simple. There's a video as well. I'll add the video somewhere over here. And all you got to do is get those 5 keywords and populate them all across the CV. So Zach Daniels was applying for health and fitness company. So he put health and fitness, sales, online sales, because they sell through the internet. He put it all throughout the CV. That's how he basically stands out. Like recruiter sees all those keywords in CV, they want to interview him. Cool. And you want to include them all across the CV. And the most important keywords, they need to be at the in the first bullet point here. Very important. Cool. Once you've done that, you also want to check the grammar using Grammarly. And Grammarly is a Chrome extension. You can literally Google it. I've got it here, and you can add it. Once you've added it, it will literally go through all of your bullet points on your CV, and it will, let's go back to the CV, it will literally fix the spelling mistakes for you. So it's a hack. Before sending any job application, and make sure you're using Grammarly to fix all the grammar mistakes, because we're human, we can make them, that's fine. I've got some points here. You can pause the video and see how you can structure a bullet point, but in a nutshell, it's either you start with what you did and then the impact, or you can flip it. You can do what impact you had plus what you did. You can pause the video and literally copy these. Cool. Next, we've got step 2. So once you've tailored your CV, you also want to tailor your cover letter. I've got a whole guide here on how to tailor your cover letter using GPT. But in a nutshell, you want to copy paste this onto GPT, and everything in green you want to replace, and keep everything in red you want to keep the same. And then once you've done that, GPT should give you a template, like a cover letter, and it's tailored for one specific job. Not for every job, but for one specific job. And what it does is it gets the requirement and then gives an example of what you've done in the past to meet the requirement. So let's say the requirement is postgraduate degree in law, finance, and regulation. Over here, this is an example of Alisa. She sent this cover letter. She got the job. She literally says, in my postgraduate degree from UCL, I completed modules in corporate finance, economic analysis of law, and achieved a distinction in my dissertation. This literally shows how not only has she got a degree, she also got a dissertation in a degree. And you do this for every bullet point, and boom, your cover letter is tailored for that specific job, right? There's a separate video I will add over here. So video on how to tailor cover letter. You can watch it and you will get amazing results when you send your cover letter. Once you've tailored your cover letter, now you're ready to apply. So there's 3 steps to applying. First step is you don't want to apply through Easy Apply on LinkedIn. You always want to apply through the company website. If they haven't got a company website, you want to apply through Indeed or Give a Grad Go or whatever website that they're recruiting through, the recruitment company, and you want to apply through there. That's step 1. Step 2 is you want to find the hiring manager's email using Apollo. Apollo is a Chrome extension. You can download it. You can add it to Chrome through this link. And once you've got it, it's super simple, right? You open up the hiring manager on LinkedIn, and then the thing should pop up over here. It's going to ask you to log in or whatever. Once you've approved it, you will click on the sidebar here, and boom, you've got the email. Cool. And then once you've done that, you want to email your CV and tailored cover letter to this hiring manager. So I've got an example somewhere over here, and you've copy pasted the cover letter. I've got Elisa's cover letter here as an example. You're going to add your CV, make sure you add it in PDF form, and then you want to subject it as your name. So let's say your name is Zishan. You want to put Zishan, and then the role at Aquilona Products, because that's the name of the company, Aquilona Products. Boom. And then once you've added your CV, you want to send it across. Simple as that. And look at Grammarly here. It's already pointing out mistakes, and you can always use Grammarly to just click on it and fix it and make it better. But that is the beauty of Grammarly. It does all the work for you. AI is very powerful these days. Cool. Once you've done that, you've applied. Step 4 is you don't want to stop there. You want to send a message to 20 people at each company you apply to. And literally, you can copy paste this. What I would do is I would go here to Zachary, click on connect, add a note, then boom. Hi, Zachary, I'm just about to apply for sales representative role. can see that you work there. I was wondering if you spare 10 minutes, boom. Now you want to send this, you want to send the same message to not just Zachary, but to 20 people, right? So I would go here, click on that, the company name, click on people, and then find 20 people, and you send it to people who aren't even related to the sales role. So let's say IT and accounts, non-related, but you still message them because your goal is to get on the radar. You want yourself to be known so that they start talking about you. Cool. You click on more, connect, add a note, boom, out of here. Done. That's it. Cool. Once you've done that, I guarantee you will stand out and they will respond to you either rejection or they'll invite you for an interview. And remember, rejection is still good because in most cases you're not hearing back. So if you hear back, at least you know where you stand. You're not going to spend weeks thinking you're going to hear back. You can move on to the next. Cool. Once you get a response, you're going to ask them questions that show your keenness and interest for the role. Ask them, what are the three most important skills? What technical skills should I learn? And also make sure that you don't ask questions that are answered in the job description. So if these are answered in the job description, don't ask those questions because it shows you've not done research. Once you've done these 4 steps, you have a 90% chance of hearing back and you will land an interview. However, there's a bonus step you can follow, which is recording a short video using Loom. Loom here is this Chrome extension. It's free. You can download it and then you can click this here. It will pop up a video and then you can record a video. Cool. And your goal is to record a video like this, like Maya. She recorded a video, sent it the same day she applied, and like this. And she wrote this script, and boom. In this script, she just says, "Hi, my name is uh, Maya. I'm a recent graduate. Here's 3 internships I did. I really look forward to speaking to you." And boom, she landed the interview and she got the job. It's as simple as that. You can copy your script. It should be linked over here. Boom, you can use it. And what's interesting is I've got given some pro tips where you can follow when you're recording. Wear professional clothing. Maya is wearing semi-professional clothing. Find somewhere clear with good lighting. The lighting was great, but it wasn't perfect. The background wasn't perfect, to be honest. But she still got an interview. It just goes to show that you don't have to follow all 4 of these. You don't have to set up your camera. I mean, ideally, eye level, but even if it's not, sending a video to a hiring manager shows so much interest in the role that you're guaranteed to get a response. And in most cases, an interview. Cool. Once you've done all of that, you're probably thinking, "For that is so much work for one job." Exactly. That's why I recommend only applying for one job a day, but make sure you follow all the steps on this high quality application checklist. And I guarantee you, you will 100% never get ghosted again. You will get a response, and in most cases, an interview, and probably even the job because you're going to be so impressed. Hope this helps. Happy job hunting. And I follow this, and you will also get your dream job very soon. Take care, guys.